I'm Naomi Hallum and I'm the CEO of Generation Vegan, also known as Gen V. Well, I think a lot of us work on our own at home in silos, so it's really nice to come together and feel a sense of community and find that you're kind of not alone in this movement, that there's a really large number of really passionate and smart people working together to make the world a kinder place. So I find that really motivating and empowering, and it kind of also gives me a lot of fresh ideas and energy that I can go back to my desk with and make a difference for animals with. I think as vegans, we love getting support and likes from other vegans. That's totally natural and that's great. But what we really have to try and do is push ourselves outside of our comfort zone and try and find ways to reach non-vegan audiences. And we may get a lot of pushback and less likes and a few negative comments, but I think it's really important that we not only try to reach outside of the vegan community with our message so that we can, create a more compassionate world, but also reach those people with a message that kind of meets them where they're at, right? I think as vegans, we sometimes assume that the rest of the world knows what we know and yet are refusing to act and might come across as a little bit accusatory towards non-vegans, a little bit mean. I think it's really important to be understanding of what people know, which is quite limited sometimes, and try and empower them and motivate them to change rather than force or intimidate them to. Gen V, a couple of years ago, we did a campaign to try and get the attention of Prince William, who is the founder of the Earthshot Prize, which is a big sort of prize / movement that aims to identify people who are making a big difference to make the world a more sustainable, safer place for everybody. And we thought, well, their goals are very much aligned with what we're trying to do. They're just taking a different route to it. So we campaigned to work together with Prince William and the Earthshot Prize, and we were actually successful. As a result of our campaign, we became the first vegan organisation to become an official nominee for the Earthshot Prize. That means we got to help decide who would be recognised by the prize and awarded prize money to accelerate their solution for the planet Earth. We also were able to nominate 2 expert advisories for their panels. So we nominated Nicola Ritchie, who is the founder of Our World in Data, and Joseph Poore, who is one of the co-authors of the IPCC report, both vegan advocates. So we're able now to help the Earthshot Prize not only to recognise that what's happening in the plant-based realm is contributing to helping fight climate change and make the world a more sustainable place, but also give plant-based solutions a chance to win the £1 million prize money that the Earthshot awards to these solutions every year. I think we've got a powerful message. I don't think there's a risk of diluting the message. What I think there's a risk of is limiting how many people hear that message. Vegans have been 2% of the population for a long time. That number doesn't seem to be growing. So I think we absolutely have to work with other organizations who we see as not necessarily vegans, but as allies of our movement, right? Anybody that wants to create a better world, I think we can work with. Anyone that wants to tackle an issue of social justice, we've got something in common with. So I think we have to focus on what we have in common with other movements rather than how we differentiate ourselves, and work together with them to see if we can mutually partner, work together in a way that benefits both movements in achieving their goals, because without them we're not progressing as fast as we need to, but together I think we can be an unstoppable force. I'll use an example that I see a lot on social media. It's the kind of accusatory speech that involves slogans like "dairy is rape, meat is murder." I think the intention behind that messaging is very positive, but the way it's received is usually very negative. People don't like to be accused of things. They don't like to be made to feel guilty. the response to that is not usually that they want to take accountability, it's that they go on the defense. So I think if we want to build bridges, we have to meet people where they're at. We have to try to be encouraging, understanding, try and understand what their why is. I think that's really important. We make this assumption very often in the vegan movement that everyone feels or could feel as passionately about animals as we do if we explain the suffering that they're in. And that's just simply not the case. Everybody cares about different things, and I think we have to understand what people care most about, who they are, how to reach them, and take that more strategic approach to bringing people over into our movement.